Blue Beetle is a 2023 superhero film starring Jolo Maraduena, and it's directed by Angel Manuel Soto, and its production company is DC Studios and the Saffron Company. It runs for 127 minutes long and had a budget of 120 to 125 million dollars. This is the 14th installment in the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. I know what you're thinking. I thought the Flash was. Well, no, evidently this is. But evidently this character will be returning in James Gunn's DCU. This is very confusing at times, but hopefully we'll see what happens with this character. This was supposed to come out straight to streaming on HBO Max, but the studio decided to release it in theaters, which I will say was a fantastic idea. Now, the movie stars Zolo Mendana as Jamie Reyes, who kind of is the host to a scarab who has an ancient biological relic that grants him superpowers and where he becomes a beetle. The interesting factor is that he must do whatever he can to figure out how to use it and what to do. The dynamic of the actors and the characters in this are really, really fun. George Lopez as Jamie's uncle is hilarious. Not only that, we have Jenny Cord, the love interest to Jamie. She is Victoria's niece and Ted's daughter, and Victoria Cord is played by Susan Sarandon, the villain of this movie, and Ted Cord's sister. Now, if you didn't know the aspect of what the Blue Beetle is, basically it was created back in the 1930s. Dan Garrett was the original Blue Beetle in 1939. Then Ted Cord came along in 1966, and now Jamie Reyes is now the new Blue Beetle. So it's always interesting to see comic books not being comic accurate in films, where we get the first character and then who played it, and then we get more so on later. The aspect of the villains is here nor there. The villains have no threat to this character at all. It's not even noticeable. Even though Victoria Cord is kind of that egotistical kind of woman that she is, and Susan Sarandon plays the role perfectly, it just didn't fit. Then there's another villain who looks like he's from a certain era or something, has a helmet on, whatever it is. It just didn't work. The aspect of the CGI is fun at times, but you can tell where it's a bit wonky and not finished. The soundtrack really adds to the movie a lot, but what I really liked is the family dynamic and the Latin culture and the aspect of how they really support Jamie in all of his troubles and what he can do and what he can do. And it's just fun. It's a really fun movie. Very fun. I feel like this is the most fun DCEU movie in a very, very long, long time. Where does it go from here, knowing that James Gunn has taken over DC? I don't know what to say. I really don't. I am a big supporter of James Gunn. I want to see what he can do with the DCU. But I feel like we are going to get Blue Beetle back in a few future installments of the DCU. We just don't know when. It could be in The Brave and the Bold. It could be in another sequel. If this movie and film make a lot at the box office, I'm pretty sure we'll get a sequel. Zolo Maraduena, you know him from Cobra Kai. Great actor, really fun, and just has that boisterous personality that really comes off really well in this. The people who are comic book fans know who Blue Beetle is. When I first heard they were making a Blue Beetle movie, I was like, is this going to work somehow? And it did work in certain ways. There are a lot of references to Superman, few to Batman, but it's just like, okay, it's there, you put it in there, but what can you do with it now? I don't know. I really don't know. This is a fun movie, but the villains lacked a lot, which I feel like if the villain was on par with the superhero, it's always good. DC does not know how to do their villains correctly. They never did. The only villains they knew how to do correctly were Lex Luthor and the Joker. That's it. Other than that, they really don't know how to portray villains as the counterpart to a superhero. They really don't. Marvel does it better in a way, but that's also been lacking. I'm curious to see what happens with this franchise, and if it does well, maybe word of mouth will get people to go see it. But this is a fun movie. If you want to go see something that's entertaining, just for the hell of it, have a good laugh, see a family dynamic, this is the movie for you. For me, Blue Beetle gets 3 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Blue Beetle. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story, the acting? Did you like the villain in this or the villains in this? How do you think Zola Maraduena did in this role? Do you think that we'll see more of Blue Beetle in the DCU? And do you think that this should have started the DCU? Or is this a good ending to the DCEU? And do you have faith in James Gunn continuing the DCU? Or do you want to see what he can do first? And or are you just tired of superhero films? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And also let me know what rating you would give this movie. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. And thank you for tuning in.